So I have this question here from IJ, and IJ is asking, many times after one has gotten inspiration on something new they would like to accomplish, these three things manifest: inertia, that is a difficulty to start; distraction by many other good things to do; and forgetting. One forgets the clarity and intensity and excitement they had in the first place. How can one deal with these things? Now, this is a very good question that IJ has asked. But I think one thing I want to clarify is that this challenge is not a general challenge. Not everybody has this challenge of inertia, distraction, or forgetting. Not everybody has this challenge. It is more of a personality thing than it is a human thing. So not everybody has this challenge. Like I, for one, don't have a challenge with when I have something new I want to do. I find it hard to start. No, I don't have that challenge because I don't have that personality. Now, IJ has that personality. And what I'm going to try to do here is to analyze our personalities as human beings. Now, this is my analysis. A lot of people have a lot of ways in which they analyze the human being in terms of temperament, but this is what I have come up with that helps me to easily analyze people. I truly believe that people fall into three broad categories. And so you have the first category of people, perfectionists. You have perfectionist people. Then you have pragmatic people or practical people. So you can call them pragmatic or practical. And then the third category, you have playful people. So you have perfectionist, pragmatic, and playful. Now, from this question, it's very easy to see that IJ is a perfectionist, because perfectionists are the people that have this challenge of inertia. Perfectionists have a problem with inertia, and I'll tell you why. I'll go through all these personalities, and if you're listening to this, you want to find where you belong, and I'll try to prescribe solutions that can help you best live with this personality, because this is who you are. This is who God has made you to be. Do not resist it. Do not resent it. Embrace it, because it is a gift. It is not a curse, it's a gift. But a lot of us don't know how to use it. So, for the perfectionist has an issue with inertia. You see, everything that has been said, inertia, distraction, and forgetting, all these things all come down to inertia. All of it comes down to inertia. If you do not start something, eventually you'll be distracted from it. When you are distracted from something, eventually you will forget it. The emotion will wane. So inertia is the problem. You see, the thing about perfection is they distill things down and make it complicated. But the real problem is just one thing. There are not three things. It is one thing, is inertia, is starting. Now, why does a perfectionist have an issue with starting? Because they want everything to be perfect. From the get-go, their imagination of that thing they want to start is picture perfect. Picture perfect. No discrepancies, no scruples. Picture perfect. Their own dreams, a perfectionist's own dreams, intimidate them. They do not need any external intimidation. They are intimidated by their own expectations of themselves, because they start out with very lofty expectations. A perfectionist has a very detailed imagination, very detailed. They see all the screws and bolts and joints and every single thing. When a perfectionist imagines a table, they do not just imagine a yellow table. They imagine the material of the table. They imagine the type of screws in the table. They imagine the background the table lies against. They imagine the height of the table. They imagine everything to the smallest detail. And when your imagination is that vivid, it has the potential to scare you. And when you're scared, there's the likelihood that you wouldn't start. That's the biggest issue with the perfectionist. So even when they talk about distraction, a lot of times for them, distraction is a coping mechanism. They are trying to get their minds off this big, hairy monster that they've created in their minds. So inertia is a big problem for the perfectionist, because the perfectionist thinks of all they need to start perfectly. To start perfectly. So the perfectionist sees not just the picture, but the picture perfect picture of an idea. And so it's hard to start. That's the biggest challenge for any perfectionist. Perfectionists can be very creative. They can be very creative, very articulate about their ideas. If you ask them to present it, oh, you would love the presentation. Very articulate and very creative. But then they have this problem of being intimidated by this level of creativity and articulation that they have. Then you have the pragmatic people. Pragmatic or practical people. Now, these people are what they call themselves realists. They work with what they have and they start where they are. These are cut your coat according to your size people. When you tell them to imagine a table, the first thing they think of is, do I need a table? Why do I imagine something that I do not need? I need a stool, not a table. So they stop themselves from imagining a table. So they imagine a stool, because that's more practical for their own lives. So the first thing is, what do I need this thing for? I don't need it. Can I achieve it? Do people need this around me? No. So why should I imagine a table? Why should I waste my time imagining a table when I can as well imagine a stool? They are very practical. They start with what they have. They have no problem with inertia. They look at what they have and make do with what they have. They make do. They have a likelihood to cut down a dream. They can do that to make it more realistic. So when you're telling a pragmatic person a story, what they're thinking about is, how practical is it? Can it really happen? So they're very grounded in reality. Starting is not a problem for them, as long as they have what they need to start. And they most times have what they need to start because they are very good at keeping account of what they have. The biggest problem that pragmatic people have is advancing and evolving and dreaming. Pragmatic people have a problem with challenging themselves. So a pragmatic person is someone that might start a business from their room, and 20 years' time, they are still working from that room because it's practical. Why fix what is not broken? That's how the pragmatic person thinks. Why fix it when it's not broken? We can continue using it that way. So they have a problem with advancing or evolving. Why change it? I don't see any reason why this thing should be changed. So where they start is where they stay. But we do know that with life, when you start and stay, life doesn't like things staying in a particular position. Things must progress in life. It's either you're going forward or going backward. It's either you're living or you're dying. The illusion of stillness is not real. And that's where the pragmatic people are their own biggest contradiction. They believe in stillness, and that is not realistic. That's the only one thing that is not realistic that the pragmatic person thinks is possible. So their business begins to die, and they begin to wonder, why is this business dying? It's practical, it works. Why are they not buying our products anymore? We've not changed anything. It's still as good as it was. We haven't changed our target audience. Why are they not buying? But we don't understand that if you don't evolve in life, you die. So the biggest problem the pragmatic person has is a problem of advancing or evolving. But they have a strength of starting because they are grounded in reality. They use what they have to get what they want. Now you have the third category of people who are playful. And this is where I fall in. You have the playful people. Now these people have no problem starting. They have no problem starting because they do not even know they are starting. Once they're excited about something, they just start doing it. And before you know it, it's other people that tell them, do you know you started this thing? What they do is just live life out of interest. It interests me. They don't even know it's a dream. All those categories that people have, they do not have categories. Their articulation is not as wide as the perfectionist. They don't know what something is called. They just know they are doing. They are playful. They see life as a giant amusement park. Why not try this ride? Why not try that ride? Why not try this? It piques your interest. Oh, I like this color. I like this shape. And before you know it, they've started. But they do not know they've started. They have a sense of adventure. As long as it piques their interest and it excites them, they are doing it. They are doing it and they are evolving. As long as they are excited. And that right there is the Achilles heel of the playful people. Commitment. Staying with something. Once there is no excitement and the feedback is not exciting them enough, they will stop because it is no longer play. So I said, they see life as an amusement park. Nobody goes to the amusement park and stays on one play machine for the whole time. Nobody stays on the swing throughout their time at the amusement park or on the carousel. The fun of the amusement park is trying everything. But the reality is that life is not an amusement park. And nothing truly grows without commitment. So the playful people need to learn to commit to things. Commitment. Because the truth about life is that the more something grows, the less fun it would be. That's the reality. The playful stage of stuff is normally the early stage, even in human development. Children are the most playful. The more you grow up, the older you get, the less playful you are. Things become more serious. So you see playful people, when they start things, when they start having a life of his own and getting very, very, getting very mature, they get less attracted to it because it's not as much fun. So those are the three personalities. Now, what can you do if you find yourself within any of these three personalities? And this is where I truly believe that we need each other more than we think. We need each other, and that's why God made us have this individual personality so that we can work collectively. Now, when it comes to a perfectionist, inertia, problem, starting, a lot of times it's because you are building castles in the sky. A lot of things that the perfectionist has in mind, the problem is the fact that they are too grand. A perfectionist needs to reel back. But a perfectionist cannot reel back for the life of them. They cannot. That's the way they are. That's how they think. It's like telling a fish they shouldn't swim. But then they need someone to help them. And this is where the perfectionist, I believe, needs a pragmatic person. If you're a perfectionist, you need a pragmatic person. This is why teams are important. You need a pragmatic person. Someone that can help you think of a more practical approach to starting. Someone that can tell you, let's start with a stool, not a table. Let's start with a stool, not a table. You see, the perfectionist problem is usually starting. If you get a perfectionist to start, they have a rugged commitment to that thing, but as long as they can start. So they need a pragmatic person to start. The perfectionist would evolve it. Once they get that traction, they will start. Because the worst thing a perfectionist wants is to embarrass themselves. So what you need to do is to push them out on stage. Once they get on stage, they will deliver. They begin to ride the bicycle themselves. And then they begin to do some stunts with the bicycle that you were thinking, was this the person that was scared to start in the first place? They need pragmatic people. Help them scale down for starting. A lot of times when you have a playful person with a perfectionist, they can feel some frustration because it almost seems like the playful person doesn't have so much empathy for the perfectionist. Playful person will tell you, what's there? Just start now, just start now, just start. I would have started if it were me. That's how they are. And that makes the perfectionists feel worse and judge themselves more. They need more pragmatic people to say, okay, it's a great idea, but we can start with this. Let's start with this thing. We just need to start, get our foot through the door. Pragmatic people can be very patient. And that's what perfectionists need. Someone to talk them through starting and let them know it's okay to start small with what you have. When it comes to the pragmatic people, remember, these pragmatic people, their biggest problem is dreaming and evolving. I truly believe that pragmatic people, these practical people, need playful people. They need playful people. Because the thing with pragmatic people is that their biggest challenge is they do not see how something can evolve. They do not see the possibility of something being better. If it's not available, we can't do it. That's why they need playful people. Because a playful person just does. They do and they show. And once you can do and show a pragmatic person, they don't argue with you, because their biggest obstacle in their mind is that it can't be done. Once you can do it and show them, that's fine with them. What they need is proof, practical proof. And that's what playful people are good at. They do it and just show you. If you're a pragmatic person, you always think of practicality. You have a lot of people, especially in the accounting field. Accountants are pragmatic people, very pragmatic. This is how much we have in the account. This is how much that can be done. We cannot do any more than with this thing that we have in the account. We can't stretch the money any more than this. But playful people are able to do magic without even know they're doing magic, and they show them this can be done. And immediately you show a pragmatic person that something can be done, it becomes a model for them for how it should be done. And then they grind their heels at that again till you prove it can be done in another way that is better. A pragmatic person needs a playful person. If you're running a business, you're pragmatic, find someone that is playful, that just likes to experiment. Just let them have that. They will always come to you with, hey, look at how we do this thing. Oh, look at how we can do this product. Oh, look at how our packaging can change. Oh, look at how we can. They'll always show you something that they've discovered, because they are playful. They help you see practical possibilities. In fact, they show you results. The problem with a pragmatic person taking advice from a perfectionist is that perfectionists try to articulate to pragmatic people. And remember, pragmatic people are practical. They don't like words. They like action. So when you tell them and tell them and tell them, they're not listening to your sweet words. They're not listening to your flamboyant dreams. They want product. Can it be done? Show me how it can be done. And that becomes a problem, because the practical person, the perfectionist person, is not good at initiating. So nothing ever gets done. So when you have perfectionists working for pragmatic people, it's always like, my boss doesn't listen to me. But you see that one person will just come to the office and do exactly what it is, but he does it. And the boss say, brilliant idea, give him a promotion. Because pragmatic people need playful people, so that they can challenge themselves and challenge their existing mental models. Now, with playful people like me, what we truly need are perfectionists. We need perfectionists. People that can give structure. People that can take on the serious stuff and allow us to stay playful. You see, I always look at my kids and my wife. My wife is perfectionist. And I look at my kids and my wife, and my kids are playful, because they're kids. And when they play with toys, one breaks, they just take it to their mom. Oh, this toy is broken. And they go back to play with the next toy. And my mom, because she's perfectionist, she sees what to do with the toys. So she fixes the toys and gives it back to them, and they go back and play with it. They have no idea of how that toy was fixed. No idea. They just know they're on stock, so they continue to play. A lot of times, because my wife is perfectionist, she helps me with all the technical things when it comes to my podcast, setting up a Telegram group, YouTube channel, all those things that I find very boring. If I were to do all those things, I would stop I'll stop all this podcasting and talking to people, because I don't like all those technical things. But she's able to do it. She's a more structured person. I run from structure. But she's more structured. So she's able to do the background structured stuff while I just keep going and playing. A lot of times, playful people need perfectionists to keep them playful. And the perfectionist deals with all the background stuff. Because the playful people paying attention is a problem. But the playful people paying attention, problem. Reading fine details. You need a perfectionist to help you read your contract. If you have contracts, perfection, they will read the contract. For me, it's hard to read a paragraph. Paragraph. A 5-line paragraph, I can't read it. I'll begin to sleep. But my wife would read it. 10-page document, read every detail of it. Playful people need perfectionists to keep them safe. So for me, I really feel IJ's question is not a general question. I said it is a personality thing. And because IJ is a perfectionist, she has these challenges. But then I want you to listen to this, and any other person listen to this, and know what your personality is, and know what you have to do. Most of all, you have to remember that it's a blessing. It's not a curse. It's a strength. It's a strength. It's not a disability. You, as a perfectionist, as a pragmatic person, as a playful person, you are a gift to the world. You are a gift to the world. Somebody needs you. God made you that way as a piece of the puzzle. So, place the piece where it belongs. Not particularly where you want it, but where it belongs. So I hope this helps clarify this question, and it helps somebody out there to understand themselves better.